Hi everyone, welcome to Get Ready with me, Louise. So today I thought, because people were, well not people, but someone had said something about MAC and Too Faced and how Too Faced is so much better than MAC and how it held up, I thought, I don't really talk about MAC to be honest, because there's not much that I gravitate towards that line. Their lip liners and lipsticks, I love them. Like, those are really, really good. Which I'm wearing their lipstick today in Velvet Teddy topped with a lip gloss from Marc Jacobs, which I have no idea where I put it now. But, like, those are phenomenal. But for the most part, I don't. Well, the MAC Extended Giga Black mascara, I use that all the time. And their blush, I've got two blushes from them. I may have more, I don't know, but I got Mother of Pearl is what it's called. And really this is called a face powder, but it's a I use it as a blush, but I mean it is beautiful. Like, that's beautiful. Beautiful. So I just like the packaging of it, to be honest, and that's why I purchased this. But I do have a blush from them, but I don't know where I put it at this time. And it is, oh, here it is. It is in Gentle. It's a mineralized blush. I can't even talk. And I've got some of their brushes, but not much. And mostly eyeshadow palettes I do have, but it's been so long. And when I mean their palettes, it was their longer palettes. If you remember, they came out with, I bought those. And I have quite a few of those. But I do have this guy here. And it's the Eyeshadow 15 Cool Neutrals. And I thought, I'm going to pull this out and see what I have. And honestly, I don't think I may have used it once. Like, there's not that much imprint on this thing at all. And looking at it, like, I can see why makeup artists would like this. Like, I can see. It's clear, it's easy to get to. But at the same time, for myself, it's like, is that really good, though? Because, let's get started. I'm going to go into this pinky shade. And right here, we're going to start this shade. And I'm actually using my MAC brushes. This is a MAC 224S. Very used to have real hair brushes, but now they're all synthetic. I mean, I don't mind synthetic brushes, but for the price point, I wouldn't repurchase these brushes by no means. But, like, you can't see that shade on me. Now, I will say it came in handy when it went to blending out the next shade I used, but to be fair, I don't think, I get why they were popular back in the day with their shadows, I suppose, because there wasn't much. Now, they have reformulated, I do believe, and I haven't purchased any of their newer products because there's just so much on the market. So when I compare stuff, I am not comparing like Too Faced to MAC, because to be honest, they're kind of both in the same category as far as I'm concerned. Neither one is that great. I prefer, well, you know what though, as I keep looking at this eye, we're going to go into this darker shade right here. It's like a purple shade, a cool tone purple, and I'm using the brush 217S. As I'm looking at this, I will say, I don't know about the mattes. The mattes, they applied nicely, blended nicely. You did have to build them up. No big deal to me. I'm not one that has to have pigment right off the bat. If I do, honestly, I'm knocking it off my brush if like too much comes up on the brush, because like it can just get out of hand for me. But I did want to be fair and just compare them and see where I come from. Again, this is my opinion. If you like Too Faced better than MAC, you go. That's wonderful. I think that they're kind of in the same boat, except for I do think that Too Faced mattes are more pigmented from the get go. I'll give you that. But I don't think that's a good thing. Where MAC, you can build up their pigment or their eyeshadows to the desired color you want, and they're easy to blend. However, if you do go in with the heavy hands, say like that, it's not going to get out of control. And that's a good thing for me, right? But where MAC is going to succeed is in these satin shades. The way this satin shade is laying on my eye right now, it's beautiful. And to me, this palette could be, because there's a brown in it also, it could definitely be, I could see where people would use this as a wedding palette. Now again, I have the cool matte one, or the cool neutral one, so I'm sure there would be a warm neutral. I'd have to assume that. In which case I can see where these would come in handy for makeup looks for like weddings and stuff. But at the same time, I mean, Makeup Geek came out and I have their palettes. And as far as mattes, I would say Makeup Geek definitely has it beat. And as far as like the satin metallic shades, Makeup Geek again has them beat. So if I'm going to compare anything like to MAC, I'm going to compare Makeup Geek. And then if I'm going to compare Too Faced, I'm going to compare Too Faced probably to Tarte. In which case, though, Tarte has upped their game. I would say Urban Decay, but Urban Decay is at the bottom for me, to be honest, anymore. And I hate that, because once upon a time, they were so popular. So popular. I mean, and so was MAC, though. So was MAC. And again, they have reformulated. So maybe, I mean, I just don't want to spend that kind of money on a palette and not like it, though. And I do have a lot of palettes from MAC that I do intend to start getting rid of. Some of them I haven't even touched. Some of them I have. But to be fair, most I have not even touched of that formula at all. So, just so you know. We're going to go into this satin shade right here. Now, this is a really pretty. Like I said, their satin shades are very nice, especially laying across the lid. The other thing I think MAC is really known for is their paint pots. A lot of people, I feel, use them for a concealer, or not a concealer, but a primer for the lid. And I do. I use Soft Ochre and I use Painterly. I use both of those for, and I think they work beautifully for that. In fact, I'm wearing Painterly, I believe, today. But I mean, that satin just lays across the lid so beautifully. And it doesn't make my eyes look old, crinkly, nothing. It's just pretty. We're going to go into this shade right here. It's like a silver, almost like a white. And we're going to put that right in the inner corner. You can see it. Just right in the inner corner. Like so. Just like that. Now, is this a simple look? Yes. We're going to go into that brown now, and I'm going to line the top lash line and bottom lash line. Yes, this is a very simple look, for sure. Oh, this is the MAC 231, and this one here was the 242S. So, I mean, these are simple looks by all. You know, you're not going to get anything other than that. But I do feel there's a time and a place for that. kind of like this brush here to push the shadow. I don't know if that's what this brush was intended for, but I kind of like it for that. And it's not too hard to where it's hurting my eye, and it's not as thin as the Rephr one I use. I don't know, I kind of like this brush for this though. As you can tell, I've never really used my MAC brushes either. They sit in a container. I know, there's something wrong with me. I just gravitate to like certain things I end up gravitating to. Things I think you should spend your money on, not necessarily these things. Although I will say this brush is kind of nice for this. But again, I don't really know what it was recommended for, to be honest. But it does a really good job at lining. I will say that much. Interesting. I might have to fight that a little more. I'm just going to go back in and run that purple under the lower lash line. Now I know they are known for the MAC, what is that, Studio Fix I think I have? Yes. SPF 15, yeah, that foundation, and I have it. To me it's just, like, I don't want to give anything a bad review, you know, that's not what I want to do by no means. But, I mean, honestly, there's just not much I would recommend, and I'm not bashing them. It's just, when there's so many brands out here, that I do like, and I do really think they're worth the money. I'm not just gonna say, you know, this is great when it's just okay. If you're new in makeup, it might be a good starter brand to start with, but I also think Urban Decay is a good starter brand, but that's it. Like, once you have gotten comfortable with makeup, I believe that's about the limit of it, you know what I mean? And it's not to say their shadows are bad, it's just that it's like, honestly, once you really get used to other brands, it's like, why would you go back? But at the same time, it's not to say this ain't a beautiful look, because it most certainly is, okay? Let me go ahead and apply the Gucci mascara to the top lashes. Like, I do really enjoy this look. I think the eyes look very pretty. But I can easily get this look using a Natasha Denona palette. I can easily, the retro. I could use the Glam palette to get a more cooler tone even look. I could use I think I could get this look out of a Pat McGrath palette, honestly. But now Pat McGrath, you're going to be spending more money on it. So I do see the difference there. But Natasha Denona, if you get the MIDI palette, like the retro, My Dream, those are $69, I think. So yeah, it's still $20 more than this particular palette, but I feel like it's worth it in the formula. But when you don't know who you're working on, like as a makeup artist, then I do see where this would come in handy, because you know this formula it's easy to use type of thing. But I'm not bashing, anybody. I think if Too Faced personally would just change their metallic formula, they could leave their mattes, come out with a story that's not, the same, then they could do it because they got the cute packaging, but it's not too cute. Like, it's not too kidsy. It's just cute, even for adults or even for teens and stuff. It's just their metallic formula and shimmer and all that. Except they do have two palettes. In the Born This Way line, is it the Sunset and the other one? I cannot think of it right now. Those two palettes now, I give it to them on that. Those two palettes are really, really good now. But other than that, like, they're just okay. But those two palettes are really good. So if you are interested in Too Faced, that's where I would steer you. No, the packaging isn't cutesy or anything, but it's not bad packaging. Like, it's nice, you know what I mean? It's not bad, but it's also like really good formula. And to me, you really do, even though packaging sometimes does, mean something, and so does a name mean something, but ultimately the formula has to be good for you to enjoy it, because if you can't use it, then what are you going to do? Just stare at it? And in some cases, yes you will. And in some cases, yes I will, because I have them. Okay. And the ones I'm thinking of is the Gucci palettes. Those are beautiful packaging. Okay, I have both of them. They're beautiful packaging, and the formula in them is just okay. But I will say that if you like the Gucci aesthetic, it's kind of it's going to give you, a light wash of color. So I can't really say that they aren't keeping to their aesthetic. Okay. And I am done. So, yes, I talked a lot. Granted, I always talk a lot, and I usually ramble about nonsense and repeat myself several times. But with that said, I really do think this is a pretty look. I just don't think that they compete in today's market. The things they do compete in is like their paint pots, their lip liners, their lipsticks, their blushes, their glow blushes, from what I understand, are really, really good, which I haven't tried. I need to. I don't know about bronzers or anything. I don't have anything from them, and maybe I should. Maybe I should. But again, with so much that I already have, it's like, do I really need to go down that avenue? Is it that much better? Or is it just equal? And if it's just equal, well, then I'll be glad to say that it's just an equal, you know what I mean? But I think that every brand has their own thing. Like with MAC, like I said, their lip liners and their lipsticks and their paint pots and that mascara, like that is their signature thing, you know what I mean? Like when you think of a MAC product, that's what you think of. When you think of Natasha Denona, you think of her eyeshadow palettes. When you think of Pat McGrath, again, eyeshadow palettes. Like, there's just certain things you think of, and you can think of that brand and be like, yeah, they got the best. In ColourPop, you would say eyeshadow palettes, wouldn't you? But I wouldn't. I would say eyeliners, their gel eyeliners, and their lip pencils for their price. Like, that's what I would say. And I just think every brand has that certain thing that they're just known for. And I know that once upon a time MAC was known for their shadows, but in today's market, I don't know. I mean, I'm going to say that this does look nice. But it's also just so simple. but then sometimes you want simple. I don't know. Let me know. Where do you rank these things? Like, I am generally curious. Because to me, because I know everybody wants something different too. Like, I like the high shine on my lid. And I do like this though too. It's not too little. It's not too much. Where I believe like Tarte was really too little. But now they're like, whoa, bam, in your face, you know. And they could be considered too much, but not to me. Urban Decay is too little. And Too Faced is just so, to me, hit or miss. I don't know. Just my opinion again. But it really had me thinking, the comment did, on, like, what is, like, not necessarily what is the best, because everybody's going to have different opinions on that, and I get that. But for every price point, I'm curious, what is worth what in the price point? Like, when I think of drugstore, even though it's not drugstore, I'm going to think of ColourPop now. I used to think BH Cosmetics and ColourPop, to be honest. And then for mid-grade, and again, like, are we thinking indie brand? Because if we're thinking mid-grade, then I'm going to think, like, Glamlight. Or Natasha Denona middies, even though they're just a little bit over, you know, the mid-brand. Because I stopped mid at like 50. And those are 69. But then again, if I stop at 50, that eliminates a lot. Because like even Too Faced is like $52 a palette now. Same Tarte. I don't know if Tarte's at 50 yet. They may be keeping it right under that $50 mark, like 49 or something. But like, where do you rank stuff? Just out of curiosity, or what brands do you rank, and what do you look for in an eyeshadow palette? Like, are you looking for that pigment, or are you looking for the ease of a palette, the building, the blendability, that sort of stuff? Let me know. I am generally curious. Because I feel like it's like half and half. Like, some people like pigment, some people don't. Some people can blend with ease no matter what the eyeshadow is. Others need a really good formula to blend, you know? And tools. Tools matter. They really do. But, all in all, this isn't a bad palette. But it's not something I'm grabbing for at the same time. But should I? Because, I mean, can we see this look? Like, it is really pretty. And it is really easy to get. So, should I be pulling for this more often? I think I want to play a little more with it, though. I'm curious about it. Because there are some darker shades. But they're sort of, they look satiny to me. Like, as far as mattes go, it looks like there's 1, 2, 3, 4... 5, 6 mattes in this palette. And 9 satin shimmer shades. This one's a different feel even. Yeah, that one feels a little different. Yeah. So the black's a little different. The rest are the same. But I also will say they're kind of powdery looking. I don't know. Can you see them? I mean, they're still very pretty. Don't get me wrong. Let me try this peach one. Oh, see, now that's kind of pretty. That one's pretty too. It's very interesting. I'm curious about it. But let me know your thoughts down in the comments. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe, ring the bell, hit all. That way you're notified when I upload. I upload every day but Sunday. Come and join me and listen to me just ramble. And I will see you in the next one. Until then, stay safe and stay healthy. Bye.